All right, brothers, what up, though? I was watching this movie on Netflix called The Six Triple Eight, directed by Tyler Perry, and I actually have to say that this is Tyler Perry's best movie, even though that's not saying much. Between this and The Family That Prays, Tyler Perry's movies have always shown so-called black people in the utmost of dysfunction. And this movie does not do that. So I have to give Tyler Perry some credit. But for those who have not seen it, this movie is basically about a so-called black female battalion who is sent over to Europe to sort out the mail because the soldiers fighting in World War II, their morale was so low that, they couldn't communicate with their loved ones back home because the mail was so, backed up and unorganized. So they had to send the sisters over to help organize it, and the movie was actually pretty good. But before all of that, you see here that they are on a train, and this conductor is going to ask the so-called black woman, or white women technically, to get up and separate themselves from the so-called black man, from the so-called black woman. If you notice here, the white woman that's closest to the screen on the left is sitting next to a sister with the hat with the red flower on it, and they don't look, upset or anything. But it is what it is. The purpose of this video was one of the so-called black women made a comment, but I'm going to let the video start and I'm going to chime in throughout.
No, not you all. You over there?
I'm nowhere but to Georgia.
I need you all to come with me. No, not you all. You over there? Let's go. Are you coming?
Well, I'm assuming you're separating the white women. I am a Negro. Well, we must don't cross the Mason-Dixon line. Welcome to the South, ladies. Segregation is just in them crackers' blood.
So what? That's the whole purpose. So what? I've said before in many of my videos and in real life, I believe that so-called black people, not all, but most so-called black people look at the Caucasian as the standard for propriety. We want validation from them. If we do not get the validation, we will not be happy. We will not be satisfied. It is what it is. Not to spoil this movie, but the sister in the navy blue jacket with the red hat, she's actually, or is in a relationship with a so-called white boy in the movie. Now, this movie was, of course, depicted in World War II back in the 40s. It is what it is. We tend to love the Caucasian. We just do. That's why she said segregation is in them crackers' blood. So what? They want to get away from us. I don't blame them. And I'm not talking about from a standpoint of, negativity or even if that is the case, so what too? I don't need anybody to like me, let alone some white dude or some white girl. I don't care. I don't care. We need to love each other. And when we love each other, that should be enough. And to be quite frank, it was enough for the 688. It was just black women from the top to the bottom, and they got the mission done. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be making the movie. I do not know why we look at the Caucasian as the best of the best of the best, sir, even though they send us to do the work. And we are the only ones who can get it done. When you watch the movie, they talk about, or read the history, they talk about everyone else tried to do it, whether it was the other soldiers or what have you. No one could do it. They sent the black women over. They got it done. I don't know what the issue is with some of our people talking about segregation is in them crackers' blood. What does that even mean? They want their own. They don't want to share. I don't blame them. White people want to be with white people. Jews want to be with Jews. Hispanics tend to want to be with Hispanics. Asians want to be with Asians. It's just our people who wants validation from everybody else. I don't know why.
You ain't said nothing since we've been on this train. What's your name? Lena Derricott. I'm from Philadelphia. Johnny Mae Burton, mine. You? Bernice Baker. I'm from New York. And what about you, Ms. Mulatto? She is not mulatto.
She says she's not mulatto, i.e., so-called half white and half black, whatever that means. Also, no, she's not. But I can tell that she is the character that's supposed to be passing, because even when the conductor came in, he said, "Are you coming with us?" What does that mean? That means that she could have went and got up and went with the Caucasian, but she didn't. Why? Because she identifies as being so-called Negro. That's good. She gets points. Because she easily could have said, let me get up and go, but she didn't. That's good. She has a pride in her people, in her heritage. That's good. We need more of that. We just do. Anyway, that was the whole point of this whole video. I don't know why our people tend to want validation from the Caucasian when the Caucasian calls up on us to get the job done. For us to be quote unquote equal or fair from the Caucasian, we would have to diminish ourselves. And I'm not going to do that. Anyway. All right, brothers, I skipped ahead a bit. I want to pick up towards the middle of the film on another scene where Kerry Washington's character, who is the leader of her battalion, gets a letter from one of her superiors. Let's hear what the letter has to say.
To our 6-month clock. Major Adams, I do not need to tell you how important this mission is. There are a lot of people counting on you and these women. For what it's worth, I know you can do this, but this is not, in all capitals, not the way. General Halt was delighted to hear that every piece of mail you have gotten out in the past few weeks has been returned as undeliverable. He is sending telegrams to the White House every day on your progress or lack thereof. Shit. I'm sure he is, General Halt. We sent out 57,000 pieces of mail. Yes, and all of them undeliverable. Well, Charity, the soldiers are moving around a lot in these battles. You think they gave us a bad look at cards? Well, I know they're not trying to help us. For just once, I'd like to play on an even playing field, where everything is fair. No tricks from white folks, just fairness. Is fair too much to ask for?
No, fair is not too much to ask for. But please and try to understand Kerry Washington's character. Nothing is fair. And the closest we will ever get to fair, and I'm saying we as so-called black people, is by having our own. I cannot stress this enough. We need our own. Why would the Caucasian, and I'm actually on her side in theory, why would the Caucasian make it fair for us when they don't like us, nor do they want to be near us as seen on the train scene? They don't want anything to do with us. Why would they treat us like one of their own? Makes no sense whatsoever. It reminds me of that scene from Django where Django went over to Big Daddy's house for the first time with Christoph Waltz. And Christoph Waltz was saying that this is a freeman and he doesn't need to be treated like all the other slaves. And Big Daddy said to Bettina, Big Daddy said to Bettina, he said, "Now, Bettina, this here Django, and he is one of the free slaves, and I want you to take him around and show him all the pretty stuff." And Bettina said, "So, Big Daddy, you want us to treat him like white folk?" And Big Daddy said, "No, that's not what I said." Oh shoot. And Bettina said, "Well, I don't know what you mean then, Big Daddy." And she said, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm telling you, the so-called white people do not want anything to do with us. We want validation from them. And I'm telling you now, we will never get it. Nor do we need it. Nor should we want it. We are the best. We're the best. The Charger, the SRT, a black woman designed that. You see that on every street. Why? Because we the best. We make the best shit. We just do. We got the best style. We got the most flavor. Come on. We the best. And everyone gets their cue from us. When a black man wear a white tee, everybody wear a white tee now. It is what it is. You got white boys dressing like us. It's what it is. You get in the car and you driving down the street and you look to the left or right or whatever at a red light, you hear some bass. It's a white boy behind the wheel. Listen to our music. It's what it is. We are the best, but we don't see it. Everybody else does, but us. We are the shiz. It will never be fair when you have to ask your oppressor for fairness. When will that ever be a case? Why do we not want our own? We should have our own military, our own police, our own government. We need that. We need that. But of course, all of that starts in the home.
Oh, it is not. But you and I both know it ain't gonna change no time soon.
No, it's not.
Is part of making that change.
Did you see this last sentence? I reluctantly need to tell you that he also wants you to host the Negro Soldiers on the weekends.
Yeah, because nobody else want to host them. No one wants anything to do with us. Unfortunately, a lot of people may not agree with what I'm about to say, but I'm on record of saying that the so-called black woman looks at herself as her own demographic. When something negative or something happens to the so-called black man, it happens to the so-called black man. Meaning, it doesn't really affect most so-called black women. It just doesn't. Now, if something happens to a so-called black woman, then all black women will rise up. They just will. They all take offense. They just do. Similar to that show on YouTube now that Pop the Balloon with Arlette. Shout out to Arlette. She always dressed modest. I ain't never seen no cleavage or nothing on Arlette. But on that show, Pop the Balloon, when a dude might not, be feeling the girl, he might say, he don't like, something about her. And all the women or some of the women will start to pop based off of what he said to that sister. Like, come on. It is what it is. Anyway, not to digress. I just wanted to do this quick little video on 6888. For those who haven't seen it, it is a good movie overall on Netflix. I'll see you guys next time.